much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 5, part 2 of the reunion, and it actually is good. Like, y'all, part 1 was good. This part 2 was actually really good as well. So let's get to it. Okay, y'all. So the episode opens up where we left off, where everyone is shocked by what Alexia just said to Lisa. Alexia is on this whole, like, she's having this speech about how she's a star. The reason why she's been able to get through everything is because of her self-confidence and how she feels about herself and how she knows she's a star. And if Lisa were to feel the way that she felt about herself, the way Alexia feels about herself, then she wouldn't be allowing Lenny to disrespect her the way he has been disrespecting her. Lisa is taken aback because Lisa's like, girl, because when Alexia says this to Lisa, Lisa was trying to interject while Alexia was on that whole spiel about being a star, and Lisa was pretty much trying to tell Alexia, like, we get that, we're happy that you feel that way, but some of the things that you've said have been off-putting. And then after Alexia says that, Lisa pretty much tells Alexia, like, sis, I wasn't trying to side with the other couch, because Alexia's like, no, Lisa, I'm gonna defend myself. This is my segment. I'm gonna defend myself. And Lisa's like, girl, I wasn't trying to come against you. I was just trying to tell you that when you get into it with the ladies or with with anyone, you overtalk them and then you take it to a whole nother level like you just did with me. Everyone is shocked. You got Nicole being like, there we go, the real Alexia. You have Adriana saying, Alexia, you can't say that. That was mean. Julia, Gertie, and Larsa's eyes are big as hell. Like, they're just like, whoa, I can't believe she just said that. And her homie, her friend Marisol is just like, girl, I know she just did not say this. Just looking around, because she just can't believe Alexia says that. Alexia's like, what? That's how I feel. I'm like, girl, just because you feel that way don't mean nothing. And I was disappointed in Lisa because I'm looking at Lisa like, sis, you are well within your rights to drag this lady. If it were me, I'd have been like, okay, I'm supposed to have a star mindset. Does your son, your oldest one, who's a bum, who's living off his girlfriend that he had a DV situation with, who pretty much does not help you with anything with your disabled child, when he should be helping because family is family, but he doesn't help you. He does, even though you do everything for him. Is he a star? Does he have the star mindset? Because he out here being a bum. Is he one? Is he a star like you? Does he have that mindset, Alexia? Elaborate. Like, I gotta cuss that lady out. Because you're not going to disrespect me after you saw all that footage of that man being disrespectful to me and tell me it's my fault and I need better self-esteem. Girl, So they continue Alexia's segment. You have Andy asking Alexia, like, is there anybody you want to apologize to? She doesn't apologize to Adriana or she doesn't apologize to Adriana, Nicole, or what's her name? Or Lisa after what she just said to Lisa. But she does again apologize to Julia. Then she kind of gives like a half apology to Gertie, talking about, it was just miscommunication. And Gertie's like, yeah, I think that's what it was, which is annoying to me with Gertie because I've seen Gertie be rah in interviews, but it's like, you didn't bring that energy to the stage. Like, if you're gonna bring that energy, sis. So they break so they can have I think an hour for lunch or something. And we see everyone goes in their dressing room. You got Nicole and Gertie talking, feeling like Alexia should apologize to Adriana. And y'all know I do not see it for that lady. I do not see it for Adriana. I just don't. I have not liked that lady since season 1 of Real Housewives of Miami. But I do think she was owed an apology. I definitely think she was owed an apology because she's been Alexia has been loud and wrong and disrespectful to Adriana this whole entire season because she didn't do her due diligence before being loud and wrong and sounding stupid and scrolled down to the bottom of the website. So it's like you were disparaging that man's character as well as Adriana, and she owes she's owed an apology. You then see Alexia and Marisol in their dressing room talking about what just happened, and Alexia just feels like everyone's trying to paint this picture that she's a mean girl and she's horrible, and she's not that person, and she's going to defend herself and refute that narrative. So she goes to Julia's and Adriana's dressing room. I forgot that they were sharing the dressing room, so I was surprised to see Adriana in the back, and I was like, oh, is she really in there? So Alexia goes to Julia and she tells Julia, like, thank you for accepting my apology and being willing to hear me out. Julia starts talking about, like, hey, is there any way that you and Adriana can bridge the gap? And Alexia turns around and being like, no, I don't know. It's still raw for me when it comes to her. And Julia pretty much says, I'm dealing with a lot with Martina. I'm dealing with her illness, dealing with the realization that there might come a time where she's not here with me. And it's like right now, I'm not trying to be like kumbaya or anything, but I'm just saying, like, this is kind of frivolous. And like, there has to be some way, because there has to be a future for y'all, because we're not always going to be around. But she pretty much saying, like, it seems like we're all going to be on this show together. So we might as well find a way to be like harmonious, or find a way where we can be harmonious. And I don't know how, but Adriana chimes in. She brings up Leah Black and how she felt like it was disrespectful. Leah brings up how it was disrespectful, how Alexia pretty much outed Herman being gay. And I'm kind of like, I didn't think that was disrespectful. The only reason why I didn't think it was disrespectful is, like, one, the man is dead, and pretty much it seems like everybody in Miami knew Herman was gay. It's just like they didn't know that he was like outwardly gay, but he was pretty much living his life like a gay man. And I'm like, what Adriana said to me was disrespectful when they were sitting at that table last season. And she said what she said about, oh, Herman died underneath his lover when they were like making love. And it's like, that's disrespectful. But I don't think Alexia is saying how she lived her life. And that's her story. Like, she was with this man. She found out he was gay. It is what it is. Like, I don't think that was outing someone. He no longer here to face if he felt shame, he can't feel it now when he's 6 feet under. So I didn't think that was outing someone. But that's just me. So they're constantly arguing. They then talk about Alexia made herself sound so stupid when they showed the not behind the scenes, but unseen footage of when Julia was trying to mediate that situation between Alexia and Adriana when they had on the private beach, when Adriana made that comment about Frankie's accident. And Alexia gonna say, Julia, I don't want to hear what you got to say. This is no start. You're not a feminist. We're not trying to be a feminist. Don't make this an LGBTQIA situation, because I'm more LGBTQIA than you. And I'm like, you're saying you're more LGBTQIA when you're arguing with a bisexual woman who's the B in LGBT. I said, girl, Alexia just be saying stuff and she sounds so stupid when she says it. And it's like, she doesn't know how to argue, because in her mind, it makes sense. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, girl, we know your education stopped at high school and you didn't do any forward thinking in the sense of like deciding to read other books to amplify your knowledge, because you don't have to go to college to amplify your knowledge. But like, it seems like you didn't seek out any other things to make it click up there a little bit more to advance it, because you sound stupid, sis. It sounds stupid. So then they start arguing again, back and forth. They're calling each other evil and the devil and this and that and that and that. And then Alexia blurts out, you're just mad because you're not blind like us. And Adriana's like, what do you mean? And a lot of people felt like, girl, what? Like, a lot of people felt like that was stupid on Alexia's part, and it was. But I'm not gonna lie, it's the white colorism. That's what it is, y'all. That's what it is. And I know we get tired of talking about that that concept and that topic, but when Alexia said that to Adriana, you're just mad that you're not blind like me, or you wanted to be blind like me, it reminded me of that whole thing that went on TikTok for a week or so, where it was a lot of women in, the Ivory community that were shocked and hard pressed when everyone was telling them, like, sis, your hair is brown, you're a brunette, you're not a blonde. And then they were trying to pull up baby photos of them with blonde hair, saying that no, like, they're naturally a blonde. But it's like, You may have been born with blonde hair, but it darkened, and now you have light brown to black hair, sis. You're not a blonde. And as a black woman who grew up in the suburbs of the South, I have seen many a fights between white girls in high school who were pissed when a girl called them a brunette when they swore on their life that they was a blonde. And it's like, I was like, this is y'all's colorism. And it felt like that to me. It felt like Alexia was like, you're just mad you're not light skinned like us. That's what it felt like to me. It did. Because I was like, you threw that out there like the light brights like to do sometimes. That's what it felt like. That's genuinely what it felt like. And I was like, this is y'all's colorism. Huh. Okay. So she leaves their dressing room. And we see everybody pretty much getting back onto the stage. And Kiki comes out in her outfit and everyone's like so impressed. But before they even started filming, you have Marisol telling Alexia, like, I told you to talk to her on stage, like keep it on the stage. And Alexia's like, no, I wanted to talk to her now. And that's like I said in my the last review, part 1, I can see their friendship drifting apart because Marisol, even though she says stupid things too, she is more self-aware than Alexia because it's like, girl, you should have argued with her on stage. There was no need for you to argue behind the scenes because it looks like you're being antagonistic because you went into their territory to have a conversation with Julia, knowing that Julia and Adriana are sharing a dressing room. You look like the aggressor. You should have just had this conversation on stage, sis. And Alexia's like, no, I wanted to talk to her. And I was like, okay, girl, okay, you look crazy. All right, okay. Y'all. So, like, before everything got going, and like I said, Kiki is there. She ends up having a booby slip. And Anna gets brought up. So if you don't know who Anna is, Anna was on seasons 2 and 3 of Real Housewives of Miami. She has a really, really disdain for Marisol and Alexia. More so Marisol. I saw like a clip of her on her podcast with her daughter talking about that Marisol is like evil incarnate. She thinks she's a waste of human skin. Like she hates Marisol. And Nicole lets it be known that Anna has reached out to her and so has Leah Black because Anna and Leah Black don't like Marisol or Alexia. And Marisol and Alexia are like, okay, we not scared of them. If they want to say something, if you want to say something, say it. And Nicole's like, I don't bring up rumors. That's just not that's not my style. Larsa's like, that's not your style? That's not your style? Okay. And they're about to like get into it back and forth. And Andy's like, no, save it. We about to film, save it. So they start filming. They ask Kiki about her vagina chakra. Is it closed or is it open? She says it's closed because she ain't with nobody. They start talking about like, having sex with their partners. Did not care. Larsa gonna lie and say she was having sex with Scotty 4 or 3 times a night. Girl, no, you were not. No, you were not. I was with Lisa when she said, your poor vagina. Yeah, girl, because at this point, get off me. Get off me. I'm tired. Don't touch me. So they start talking about Marcus Jordan and if Larsa's gonna have like his last name if they get married. We know they're not getting married, and this is the last time I want to hear about this because at this point it's like it's not salacious anymore. He 32, she 48. It is what it is. Larsa lets us know that she was not, she never had an interaction with Marcus Jordan until she was like, until they met each other like 4 years ago. We find out that but Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen didn't even like, Larsa didn't even like have that relationship with them or be teammates like that because she didn't get with Scotty until the last year he was playing with Michael Jordan. So she was like, I didn't even know Marcus like that. So it's not what people are trying to make it seem. Like I said, it's no longer salacious to me anymore, and I don't care. So they play Larsa's package, and Andy poses the question like, who feels like Larsa goes below the belt? Everybody on the right side of the couch says they feel like Larsa goes below the belt. So that was like they raised their hand. So that was Nicole, Julia, Adriana, and Gertie. People on the left side of the couch was like, no, I feel like Larsa just be defending herself. Like she just goes up for herself, and like y'all just can't take it. Marisol's like, yeah, they bring up how Marisol and Larsa back in season 1 had their beef because Larsa was going off on Mama Elsa when they were having that meeting, because Mama Elsa was coming at Larsa and Larsa was coming back. And Marisol was like, we resolved that. And she was like, she was defending her family, I was defending my family, but we have better communication and we have more respect for each other now. So we were able to get past that. So they continue and they start doing who like Larsa came at this season. They bring up the whole situation with Lisa. Andy was making fun of Lisa where he was like, you was really mad about that horror mortgage thing. Like, having a mortgage is not a bad thing. Lisa ends up letting us know that she is ignorant as hell and like blissfully, like, is it blissful ignorance? Or ignorance is bliss. I think that's the saying, because Lisa ends up saying that like the only reason like she was coming at Larsa is she felt like Larsa was trying to say that she couldn't afford her lifestyle, and Larsa was like, that's not what I was trying to say. And I feel like Larsa had a right to have an issue with Lisa, because Lisa pretty much was saying that Larsa lives in the building where the pimps, the hoes, and the prostitutes stay, and the OnlyFans workers stay. So it's like, you said that to be disrespectful, so why can't she disrespect you back? So Larsa was like, oh my, like, and Lisa ends up saying that, I felt like Larsa was trying to say I couldn't afford my lifestyle, and I was protecting Lenny because at the time I didn't know that we were doing that, and I didn't know if he could get in trouble for that. And I'm like, why would he get in trouble, Lisa? And my mindset was maybe like, they have like the rich person's HOA on Star Island, and maybe they can't do that, but I would think not. And it's just the fact that Lisa ends up telling us like she didn't know that he was doing that. And it's like, why do you not know that? Like, you've been married to this man for almost like 15 plus years. Like, why do you not know how things move in your life? This is why you dealing with what you dealing with. And like I told y'all, there's nothing wrong with people wanting to live the soft life. But if that man or that woman or whoever you with give you a stipend and they are the financial or like the breadwinner in the family, put that money in a separate account. So when they start acting like Lenny, you can chuck the deuces and not be fighting for your livelihood because you didn't know how to take care of yourself. Lisa is giving Shannon Bador. I will never forget when I saw that one episode and Shannon was shocked that she didn't know she had to pay for water, or she didn't know that like what a water bill was, or how to pay for her bills. And I'm like, ma'am, you are well within your 40s. You never seen a bill or a stub, and that's because her husband took care of everything. And then when he left her, she was really like out here flailing. And it's like, that is why Lisa is trying to fight, even though I feel like take that man for everything he got and then some. But you should know this stuff, lady. You're 40. Like, you should know how things move in your household. So then they bring up the whole Julia situation with Larsa. This one I don't feel was warranted, but I do feel like Julia has been on Larsa's neck since last season, because Julia and Adriana take on each other's beef, and Adriana don't like Larsa. So Julia feels like she's warranted in the way that she feels about Larsa, even though she hasn't taken the time to get to know Larsa. So they talk about the whole kissing thing. My thing is Julia, you were kissing somebody in a public place at the Four Seasons, and like a lot of the ladies said, the Four Seasons is a very like known place of people taking pictures. And even if it wasn't, you're Julia on the Real Housewives of Miami and you're Martina's wife. Somebody would have took a picture of you and would have had it on there. Like, somebody would have like typed up and been like, yeah, Julia out here kissing on men, trouble in paradise. We end up finding out that when the ladies hear rumors about each other, they normally call and tell each other like, this is the rumor I heard about you. Like, girl, is it true? Is it not true? I'm just letting you know, like, it's out here. You might want to get ahead of it, which I think that's good for them to have that type of like understanding with each other. Larsa ends up saying that like, Julia, I called you, and I did not even bring this rumor in front of the group. I took you to the side in front of all the, like, not in front of all the ladies. I took you to the side with Gertie to have this conversation with you. So I wasn't even trying to blast you like that. And you end up admitting that it was true. So what was T. So we find out that the guy that Julia was kissing on was the designer, like the guy that designed her outfit that she has on the reunion, and they're like best friends. But my thing still is like, was Larsa wrong for bringing that to the show? Yeah, she was. But I'm also looking like at Julia, like if you were out here kissing on him in a public place, why would you not think people were running back and start gossip? Mainly because it's like they have told us several times that Miami is a small place, so everybody knows everybody's tea. So I'm just kind of like, girl, the rumor would have came out either way. And Larsa was the one that got the phone call about it. They then start going on Nicole's rumor. And Larsa's like, Nicole kind of feels like it wasn't warranted. And Larsa's like, yeah, it was, because you was always coming at my neck. And when I said what I said, I was pretty much saying like, girl, I've never judged you. Even though I heard the things that I've heard about you. And that's why I said what I said. I heard that you slept with everybody at the hospital. And Maris, they were like, so then Andy's like, so who DM'd you this information? Nicole's like, Marisol DM'd it to her. And Marisol's like, no, I got the DM after Larsa was like, the information came out about you, or what Larsa was talking about. Even till this day, we're still getting DMs, and people are in the comments adding us with our names, saying that like, no, Nicole slept with this person. She may not have slept with everybody, but she slept with this person. And Nicole's like, yeah, that fake account that Larsa has. Larsa's like, I don't have that kind of time, sis. I have a real job, unlike you. I said, skirt, what are you talking about? She's an anesthesiologist, sis. She's a whole ass doctor. Larsa, I like you, but you sound dumb right now, girl. Like, Larsa. Larsa. OnlyFans, yes, is a job, but it's not equivalent to someone being a doctor. And mind you, in order to get the surgery that you have, like that booty and that face that's been changed, you needed a licensed, board certified anesthesiologist to make sure you woke up after they did that surgery and you didn't die on the table. You sound crazy. Larsa sounded crazy, bruh. The conversation continues between Larsa and Nicole. Nicole is telling Larsa she's dumb because that didn't make any sense what she just said, which is true. They then go on about how Marisol is pretty much like, girl, no one thinks you slept around. It's not that deep. And Nicole's like, y'all believe anything that someone says about me because y'all don't like me. They then, Larsa brings up, well, your husband is constantly talking about me, saying that I'm a home wrecker. And then Larsa's like, Nicole's like, well, it was in the press about her dating Malik, Beasley. And she was like, that whole thing Anthony said about you, that happened that happened while the show was filming. How would you know about that? Larsa's like, because people have told me he says this. So then she was like, I don't know why your husband has an issue with me. Nicole then says like the whole out of wedlock comment is why Anthony doesn't like Larsa, which I feel like that's BS, because what Larsa said was true. You and Anthony aren't married and you had a baby out of wedlock. It's not that deep. And she was pretty much saying like, I didn't judge you for having a baby out of wedlock, so why do you feel the need to judge me? Mind you, Nicole saying that she looked up Larsa before she came to her house is not a big deal. I don't know why Larsa is taking it that way, other than Larsa feeling like she's always judged, and it's like, who are you to judge me? But it's like, it's stupid. It's stupid. And I stand on that. Nicole was shook that lady said that. But to me, it's not that deep, because it's like, it is true. You did have a baby out of wedlock. She wasn't talking about your child. She didn't say anything disparaging about your child. It's the same way I felt about Karen when Karen tried to say Sharice was talking about her mom when she brung up the funeral on Potomac. She did not say anything disparaging about your mother. She didn't bring up your mother to be disparaging. That was your way of deflecting. And I feel at this point, saying that Anthony is saying these things because of what Larsa said about that baby out of wedlock is stupid to me, because it's like, that's what y'all did. It's a fact. Y'all are not married and you had a child that why y'all weren't married. It was out of wedlock. That's not a bad thing. She didn't call your child a bastard. Now, if she would have called him a bastard, that'd have been a totally different thing. But she just said you had a baby out of wedlock. It's not that deep. Andy gets mad and like raises his voice at Larsa because Larsa is like going off. And I was just like, okay, Andy, because Andy called Larsa an asshole for saying that comment, but it's like it was facts. It was like, I don't get it. Like what she said was a fact. They did have a baby out of wedlock. It's not that deep. It's not shameful. It's shameful for some, but it's not that deep for Anthony to constantly be taking jabs at Larsa. So they then bring up the whole mirror on the wall, the disinvite that Larsa gave to, that Nicole gave to Larsa. You have Alexia and Marisol basically saying, like, we didn't think Nicole was that clever to come up with that. Nicole's like, girl, I got the biggest IQ on the stage, which I believe so. She a doctor. Marisol's like, I'm more clever than you, and I'm not even that clever. And we find out that Nicole and her makeup stylist are the ones that came up with the idea. So they're just like, girl, it wasn't that deep. And they're all laughing. Nicole is like, y'all will believe anything about me because y'all don't like me. Which is true. They don't like her. So they continue the conversation. I think they started talking about... What did they start talking about? My mind is going blank. The only thing... Oh, Julia. Julia was like, you know how Marisol wanted to play that game? Who do you least trust? And Julia's like, the person I trust the most is Nicole, because I was in Nicole's office and she held my hand as she put my wife under for treatment. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like, that's a big thing to trust the people who are taking care of your loved one, especially, anesthesiologists, because basically if they do it wrong, you taking an eternal sleep. So you want to trust them. So I thought that was sweet of Julia to point that out. So they break again to have a break. Marcus is in the back. Larsa's friend is rubbing her back like, girl, they really coming at you, girl. She's like, yeah, she was just like, girl, they coming at me. But before they braked, Larsa kind of apologized for her wedlock comment. She was like, I don't really care. I didn't think it's shameful for you to have a kid out of wedlock. I didn't mean it that way. But like, yeah, my bad. So they stopped there. So then we are rounding up to the end of the episode, and Andy talks like he's doing that IG video that everyone saw where he was like, this was not on my list, me yelling at Larsa. And then Lisa's like, you yelled at me last season. And he was like, yeah, I don't like yelling at y'all like that. So they start talking about Lenny because someone posed a question where they were like, Lisa, how did you not see the writing on the wall? We find out that Lenny and Lisa kind of stopped having sex. They also weren't really communicating very well. Gertie brings up how she saw Lisa at like a charity event, and they were like in a VIP section, and Lisa was about to do a speech, and Lenny showed up, but he was very like standoffish. Like he didn't want to be in the VIP section or stay to eat. Like it was kind of like he was just doing his duty to show up and show face. And Gertie said she didn't like that because she was like, you were begging him and he wasn't going to stay. Lisa still kind of in a roundabout way is defending Lenny, where she's like, he's always been that way. She was like, it might just be like he's socially awkward, but it's like, no, he just wanted, like, he didn't really want to be there. So they bring up the Halloween party, the annual Halloween party. We found out that like 600 people were there. We also found out that Lenny's girlfriend wasn't allowed to be there because of the actual, because of the restraining order she had against Lisa. On top of that like Lenny had, like, I guess met another girl there, and like he left that with them. And it's like Lenny is going through this like weird midlife crisis where it's like, it's weird, bro. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird to me. Because it's like, you're doing all of this. Like, if you didn't want to be with Lisa, okay, fine. I don't think people should just stay together just to stay together. But you could do it in a respectful manner. Like, the way he's portraying himself, he looks like a bag of dicks. He looks like a bag of dicks. So Kiki starts talking because Andy asked her about, like, look at my head shape, because she said that she was like, Lenny looks like a cheater because of the shape of the shape of his head. So he was like, what do you think about my head? And Kiki was like, no, you're wild. I can tell you're wild. And Andy's like, yeah, girl, I am. So they start talking about the girl again and about the girlfriend and all this stuff. And Kiki let it be known that like she's been to the Halloween party many of times. Like I said, the Halloween party had like 600 people there. She's like she was invited by other people, and she ends up explaining that I know other models that Lenny has messed around with. And Lisa is shocked. Everyone's like, what? And she was like, and Kiki's like, yeah, like I know people that Lenny has cheated with a lot more way before this situation. And everyone's looking at Kiki like, huh? And I'm looking at Kiki like, girl, how you holding on to this? Like, you look so surprised when y'all found out about Lenny like divorcing Lisa. But maybe Kiki thought, they just had that type of relationship where he's allowed to go out and do what he do as long as he comes home and he's taking care of the household. Maybe she really didn't think that he was gonna divorce Lisa, but it does look like Kiki was being kind of like sus. A little sus. But yeah, y'all, that's the end of the episode. That is it. That's all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.